Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. So happy to be alive and here with you this evening. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus. And as usual, with me on the show is my colleague.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. So nice to be here this evening. Jennifer, how are you going?
I'm going good. I'm actually thinking I have nothing to complain about. I'm just grateful. Grateful to be alive and healthy. Yeah.
And living a good life. It's not just you're alive and healthy, but you're living a good life.
I'm happy with my life. Yes.
So many people are, I just find that everybody just fussing and quarreling. I had to ask, I keep asking myself, is it that I'm living in a bubble? What's going on? What's going on?
It's a matter of choice.
Yeah.
Really and truly. It's not that things not happening around you or everything is perfect, but it's really how you choose to live your life. Yeah. If you want to worry about all that's happening, all the negatives, if you want to just move forward and just continue your life, living your dream and looking for all the positive things of it.
Yeah.
Positive aspects of life.
Yeah. And I really am beginning to think more, and I hope I'm not becoming a crotchety old lady. That I think we're watching too much social media.
Yeah.
We need to give it up because there is no fact checking, there is no editor, and the more that I'm looking at things coming up on my pages, and I'm wondering who brought this here. People with all kinds of extreme stories, and if you really go down that garden path thinking that this is life, you'll end up in trouble.
But you know what I've found, Terry-Ann? A lot of people, they like the drama. Yeah? They like the drama. That's why when they complain about newspapers and when they open the papers or when they listen to news, is only the negative. But that's what sells, eh? That's what people like, the drama. I actually was sitting next to someone yesterday and they were using their phone looking at whatever. And I hear in this, as we see in Trinidad Bacchanal, a lot of confusion, but louder, like, confusion with
like that.
soup because
like
who
chickens in
out,
a yard.
that sort of things. And actually, I thought it was coming from a house close by. And I kind of glanced and was saying, but like, nothing seemed to be going on there. But it was louder. I could not believe it was the person next to me. Whatever they watch, they have it loud enough. And it's only when I guess when I glance at her and she would probably look at my face, become very expressive. Without saying anything, she realized like it disturbing me. And she turned down the volume because I was just sharing barely not, I know it's on. And I'm saying, oh gosh, she's sitting down in a peaceful place. We want to confuse yourself with this drama, but let me tell you, whatever was going on, she was enjoying it because she was smiling and laughing out and. So it's how you choose to live your life, the content you want to watch. When I tell people I hardly watch television, I don't want to say, are you mad? It's not that. I really enjoy comedy, certain type of shows, but not drama. I'm not one for drama.
Yeah.
So I don't allow it to enter my life. I have enough drama as it is going on around me that I ignore. So my personality is not one for drama.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to ask people, say, you don't have headsets. Keep that to yourself.
Especially fine. Especially in public and just respect others.
But if they're on a personal conversation, they find the headset and they put it on, you don't have it on blast like that. But followers, we really hope that you're not part of that posse.
If you are, yes, use the earplugs. Yeah.
Use the headset and chill it out. But anyway, Jennifer, last week we introduced our Easter Monday turn up. Our Easter Monday turn up. And a lot of you have gotten very excited about that. But wait a minute. This is not just Easter Monday turn up. I wish we could have had an interactive portion here, because I would love to ask our followers what else is going on at that time. That's really, really important to us.
So I wouldn't let Terry Ann keep you all in suspense on that. We also celebrating our 5th anniversary. Could you imagine? Connections 50 plus celebrating their 5th anniversary. So for us that is a grand occasion. And what better time, because we launched on the 7th of April. That's when we launched, and that was a great launch.
2019, the year before COVID.
Yeah. And we are so happy now, 5 years and still going.
Exactly.
Yes. So that would be a great celebration. So you really can't miss that one. Easter Monday, not just celebrating on Easter Monday, we're celebrating our 5th anniversary. And we have a lot in store for you. A lot.
So so you are going to have more for this birthday party, but it's Jennifer's birthday, it's Connections' birthday, it's Easter Monday, it's all kinds of stuff that's going on there. So we have tons and tons of surprises for you. Most likely everybody who attends is going to leave with something nice. We won't tell you how you're going to leave with something, but it is going to be, I think, even better than many of the other events that we've had. So we really, really want to encourage you, and especially our Gaia viewers, our Monday night posse,
Those who know me when we go out, and when someone's something, I know your face. Where I know your face? Well, only last week that happened again. Watching me. Where do I know your face? I said, I have no idea. Now you're on TV doing something. And then I said, yes, Gael. I said, oh, yes, you want the other lady. So yeah, we love for you all to come out and join us on this occasion.
You lucky there's walk up straight, Terry Ann. Like, Terry Ann on this.
You know when is a Gael. Yes.
So it's a great opportunity for us to meet up. Definitely, we have enough time. And of course, we said Errol Fabian is going to be with us. So come and hang out, celebrate the 5th anniversary. We're going to be remembering. We're going to be playing games. We're going to have all kinds of fun.
And prizes.
And as I said, most people, you could win $1 million. Imagine you could win $1 million. I'm not telling tales. You could win $1 million. But come and join us, So you will hear more about that. Get our numbers, call us, and we'd make sure everybody is booked and ready for our event. So, Jennifer, we thought it would be a great idea. I mean, 5 years is Somehow I thought it was 4 years. And then you really did the maths. No, we're in 2024. So it is 5 years. And for something like this to be going continually for 5 years, it says so much about you all there, continuing following us, for you who attend our events, and even for us. So, and this show where we start the journey to turn up in 5 years, because this too is a turning point. We still
yes.
have a theme of turning points, and not all turning points are dramatic or tragic or any. Some of them are very, very beautiful. We thought we would just go down some memory lanes, do some introspections, and talk to you a bit about, hey, what has this 5 years been like for us? So we are going to join our tribe and talk about what this journey of connections 50 plus really, really has. What have we learned? What have we picked up about you and about us? So we're in a tribe.
Tarian, at the beginning, when we decided, yes, we are going to come together, and start Connections 50 Plus. I chatted with a couple of people before that, and you see, and you think anybody taking you all at this age? There nobody else have that kind of program. They don't want like to talk about age and etc. But because we both very determined that we can make a difference, we can change the stage we're on. We are not just old retirees that just go in and sit down home. Or, we have talent, we have skills, we have a lot to offer. And not just us. So there's most of the people in our cohort. But somewhere they have nobody to lead them. They have no sort of role models to say, well, okay, this one did it, we can do it. And so we said, you know what? Let's go brave. Let's go brave and just get out there and see how it happens. It's really started. That was the turning point. That was really the turning point to sit and, get a structure program out there that we feel will be beneficial to our cohort. So we started, and before we started, and we would have given you all this story at some stage, that we were very conscious of the fact that we have some differences, not just maybe in age, personality, etc. But with the differences, we knew something clicked. We had that synergy going. We knew that. So we said, you know what? We sure it will work, but still let us find out how our personalities will blend for us to really be a success over the years and reach 5 years. That's so we did that personality profile. So let Terry Ann tell you a bit about that, and then we move on to at least what we have learned during the time, how we have grown over the 5 years.
Well, I think at the end of the day, if you a follower of Connections 50 Plus, and if you've gone onto our website, and if you've seen some of our brochures, you will know that another part of our business is doing programs that help you to reset life,
Yeah.
build businesses, financial coaching, life coaching. And these are underpinned by our partners, Nika, Joseph, and Maria Elias, and of course, Jeff as a financial coach. And we put people through very rigorous but easy to do assessments. So
Yeah.
we applied those to ourselves. And at the end of the day, one of the things we always believe is, if you're going to go into something, know yourself and know who is with you. And when we did those assessments, we understood that while we were different, I tend to be very analytical. Jennifer is more collaborative and goes more with feelings and stuff like that. We had differences, but differences that were very complementary.
Yeah.
And most critically, our value systems were identical and aligned. And I think it proved something to, it's a lesson that I think all of us can learn.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to go out into a venture and we're looking for somebody that's just like us, somebody who seems like us, like what we like, do what we do. And sometimes we forget the beauty, the dynamism, and the learning that difference can bring. And the thing that really keeps us solid, the foundation for any venture is really what are your values. If your
Yeah.
values are different, you can't work with somebody. But if your values are the same, an extrovert and an introvert could do brilliant things together. Someone who is into always changing every minute and someone who likes consistency can work together. Their differences will sustain, their differences will make it more interesting, more dynamic. And I really do believe that that test that we did has proven that we are still here 5 years going
Yeah.
strong. It has proven to be true. And
Yeah.
in many ways, it again underpins a lot of the work that we do outside of this program through our assessments and our programs. And Jennifer, I think that is one of the most amazing things that I have seen happening, that even as we discuss topics, you all will know we may come from completely different sides.
Yeah.
But the discussion is real, it's dynamic, and you end up in a place where the pie is expanded rather than cut up and divided. I think that's a significant part of our success and a significant learning for us.
Definitely. And what we did, of course, and Terry, I mentioned it, because it worked for us, you realize we use ourselves a lot, right? Because it worked for us, we thought, you know what, this would form part of our program to start with. So persons will understand themselves. Those who go into entrepreneurship will understand that, hey, let's learn about my partner, whoever I'm going to work with. So that started our programs. So we didn't just say, okay, let's work with the 50 plus. We first had to understand ourselves because we are in that age group, and then look to say, okay, we understand ourselves, we understand you, let's work together. You know, let's join hands, let's support each other. We are here for you. We're still here for you. And
Definitely.
in saying that, say, okay, we did actually do not a formal survey. I wouldn't call it a formal survey. It wasn't formal actually. But as we move around, we would ask persons, you know, within our cohort, what you really like, what you're missing, what you think you know, we asked questions. We had a couple questions that we asked. And from those answers, we also decided, okay, are we just going with workshops? Are we going to do some socials? How are we going to approach it? And that is how we started. Getting you on board with us. And as we go along, understanding your needs and looking to tweak, you know, because our workshops, again, our programs, I wouldn't just say workshops, we kept it very small. And why we kept it small? Because chatting with you all, chatting with the cohort, we realized that nobody wants to be in any big group again. They don't want to feel like, you don't want to feel like any workplace. Those who still in the workplace don't want to feel like they're still there. So they want, if they come out to something, they want it to be very, you know, more informal, very private, very embracing, where they could express themselves. So we went with the flow in terms of all our workshops. We had small group workshops, and that more on the business side, where we did it with, we had they do workshops with companies. And then we decided to have our own Connections 50 plus workshop or forums. Yeah. So that is more or less, and from those forums and those workshops, let me tell you, we learn a lot about who we're dealing with and our offerings, and had to know that, hey, we have to do some changes and tweaking as we move along. Yeah, Darian?
Yeah, yeah. You know, I would like to share with you all. We could look at this on two sides. And what I've learned about you and what I've learned about me. Because connection, you see what we learned together. But the thing about it is, I remember when we started and we were motivated by that Jane Fonda video, where Jane Fonda was the person who talked about this third act and that reality that people who are over 50, over 60 are really the people who created and built everything. And that I went in knowing, call it intellectually, that we are really the uncut diamond, because we created empires, we created businesses, we created government systems, we created all kinds of things. And we're really the foundation that a lot of the business government systems work on now. But foundation is unseen. And many of us come from providing that foundation and go into retirement and continue being unseen, because many of us have spent so much time being unseen. But one of the things that I really have had a lot of pleasure in seeing is, and it comes through especially when we have events, that when we as a group get together, how easy, how natural it is for us to have tremendous fun, how absolutely confident and relaxed we are. And when we're given a chance to expose ourselves and just be ourselves, how really, really dynamic, interesting, and really explosive we are. And if we ask any of us if those words would describe you, they no. But when we bring you together and we say, okay, let's just be ourselves, I think we are such a cool cohort, it isn't funny. We shock our children. And that is one of the things that working with you, interacting with you, talking with you, that I've discovered that always brings a smile to my face and always makes this venture really, really worthwhile. Yeah, Jennifer?
Well, let me tell you, I agree with Terry-Ann, because I love to socialize with our group. I mean, it's always fun and laughter. There's never any time where anybody leaving looking, their face looking sour, as they say. But let me tell you what I have learned. I knew it maybe before, but it was really, it showed up a lot. And this is not to be negative, but I want to show you the growth. I felt in the earlys, especially at the beginning, that most of those of you all who came to workshops and are dealing with that, and I'll go to the socials, you know, the earlys tend to be very secretive. You know, they say we are this like the secret order, that you don't know if you should say certain things because you might be judged or you might feel comfortable. And where there are other people around, well, best you don't say anything and listen. But as we continued with our forums and then we have the socials, I was very happy to see the trust building up. that you all embraced us too and say, yeah, I think I could trust these ladies. They're okay. You know, they're not about putting down anybody. We're not judging. And that for me, and not just we were told that, you know, when after a function or after a forum, I didn't know it was going to be so, I didn't know we could have been relaxed. I thought it would have been stiff. I thought it. We always get that feedback from our clients, from our followers, about being so relaxed and feeling that, oh yeah, I could talk to them. I don't have to keep this all to myself. Even if after that they may not open up, you all may not open up in the actual forum or at the social, you will call, because that's the other thing about being secretive. Getting you all to open up or put something on Facebook or even on YouTube, you tend to be very careful. But let me tell you, but because of your interest and your trust, you will call or WhatsApp and say, you know what, you all talk about, it hit home, I've learned from it. So for me, the building of that trust, seeing the early, in the very early, and you're very timid and a little secretive and you're coming out, but you're kind of watching. And very soon that trust build up. And now I must say, ah, right, anything we have in all the recent socials, oh, they're talking away, and that for me, that has been great. I saw that growth, that relationship between us, between all our followers, has built to that synergy. We are connected. We are true connections 50 plus, and that growth has been really, really fantastic. And I wanted to share that. I'm not seeing that fear of anything. I'm not seeing that, Taran. So for me, I wanted to share that aspect of it.
Mhm, mhm. Definitely. Another thing that I have learned about us is that, you read the general press, and a lot of people, again, would place a lot of pressure on our cohorts for
Yeah.
many things that are perceived in society to be going wrong. Whether
Mhm.
we're bad parents, and therefore these young people that running rampant are our work, whether people look at our selfishness in terms of, we all, as Gregory Maguire said in one of our earlier shows, we came up in our boom. And now that things are a little bad, we seem to be in Alice in Wonderland and the deer in the headlights, and we don't know what to do to give support to a lot of the social and economic issues that confront. And our generation, in many ways, get a lot of flack. And you would know that for many of our shows, we will bring people on, and we would fallen into the narrative of, all right, we need to discover. We would get to the root of issues. Why are these things like this? And why are these things like that? And one thing I've discovered about our cohort and our resilience is that, excuse me, it's not that we don't know, we're fully aware of where it is and why it is. We're fully aware of why we are in the place we are. If that place is positive, if it is negative, it is near homeless, if it is comfortable as pie, if it is that we have skills and we appear not to be monetizing and manifesting the skills in a way that society would say it should be done. And we drive deep to find out, well, why aren't we, as this great cohort, doing what we're doing? And what, Jennifer, that we found as we discovered that we know everything, the level of sacrifice that we continue
Oh, yeah.
give and to deliver, to keep the next generation going, to keep things going. And it is very, very honest and clear sacrifice without jumping up for frills. It's not plastered on social media. It's not plastered on Facebook. Every time you do something, we don't have to post it and boast and brag. Anytime we support and help, we don't have to announce it to the world. Anytime we give up ourselves and what little we have to make sure that our children or a child or somebody else's child or our community does better, just doesn't have to be broadcast. And one of the things that I really like about doing this program is that we can bring to the fore how much we want to blast it. We will put it on blast to say how great our cohort continues to be, that even though we're not on the third act stage, we're not on the second act anymore, we continue to give so much back to our children, the other generations, without a peak. And that is a trait that I think most of the recipients of that goodwill don't understand the goodwill that they're receiving, and unfortunately are therefore unaware that they should say thanks. So I want to put out today one of the things that I have found out about our cohort is our very deep generosity and the extent of sacrifice. And I mean real sacrifice that we do without things that we have worked for to make sure our children continue to be better. And those very children are sometimes oblivious. And I think that is a trait of our cohort that we've discovered as we've worked with you that was not in the generation before because they didn't have the means. And unfortunately, on the sad side, because we've been so quiet about how much we do,
Yeah.
perhaps those who have benefited may not know the extent to which they've benefited. And but I think in that way we are especially blessed. And I really do love that about our cohort. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, during the 5-year journey, I want to proudly say, I really, really believe that we help you all in terms of appreciating your aging journey. And let me tell you why. Because I swear we definitely help with that. We gave you all a roadmap over the 5 years. You had a roadmap. And let me tell you why. Because again, this is from feedback. At the start, and people say, oh, coach, I don't know, I don't know if I want to come to anything with all these older people, I don't want people to know my age and like just being over 50, over 60, over 70, you're not too sure. You're not that confident within yourself. You feel like, because again, prior to our cohort, you find when you reach that age, people tended not to socialize much. They may get involved maybe with their church or something like that. Those type of organization. When I say those type, don't get me wrong, but more you feel you reach a certain age, this is what I should do. Join some church group or charitable group, which is great. But in terms of socializing and going out and enjoying yourself or dressing a certain way, somehow that wasn't in our DNA. Just using that. But yeah, but what I have found over the 5 years and with us doing all the programs and having the socials, because we have seen the increase in participation right through over the 5 years. Definitely, we have figures we can show that. So that appreciation of self, that appreciation of age, yes, we're this age, but we have a lot to offer. we enjoying ourselves, we attending the forums. Again, when we started with our forum, people say, God, what we have to learn again? We know everything. We did enough learning in the workplace, but this wasn't about it. This was about us and our life and the stage we at now with our lives. So listen to me. I have seen, Terry-Ann, a great shift. I'm telling you, a shift with in terms of socializing, in terms of even the outlook, because again, Terry-Ann spoke about different professionals coming on. So we had professionals, we had Catherine Gordon coming on and talk about image. We had all the different professionals coming on,
We had attorneys,
encouraging us.
we had psychologists, we had
We had,
accountants.
just name it. And each person, you mean,
We had
very, very,
architects.
knowledgeable. So listen, we learn how not to just come out and look good, but make sure the roof over our head, as you say, architect, that we have a roof over our head, that we know how to deal with the younger ones, with our children, etc. So for me, I'm excited. I really saw that shift with accepting where we are
Yeah.
in terms of our age, and that we have the energy to do what we want, to enjoy life and continue enjoying life, looking at all the positives. Remember when we started the show, said, be happy with our lives. That this was a choice.
Yeah.
And I saw that, Terry-Ann, when people come out to all the functions, when they talk to us, happy dancing, all the karaoke, all like every. So for me, that is a great, great plus. You see in the growth and it continues, like that. So I wanted to share that part about Egypt. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And the last thing I want to say about what I've learned about us, and it's a subtle thing. As we continued to deliver programs, bring guests on, sometimes we have the idea, no, we've got to change. We've got to change. Change is not something our cohort necessarily puts at the top of the list. And society seems to think that that's a negative. So very often, when programs are done for us, they are done with the intent of change. And as Jennifer just said, change would very often upset some of the safety nets that we've put in place because of the different socioeconomic situation that we're in now. And what we realize, and I think it is the thing that a lot of you appreciate most about us,
Yeah.
is that, okay, we understand the situation and it's not about changing, but about how to cope. And the fact, a big, big part of that was simply giving you a place with a tribe that has very similar situations that allowed you, in the midst of sacrifice, to still have fun, to still smile, and therefore cope. Because the third act, joy on the third act, it doesn't change the reality of life. Life is what it is. But for many people, aloneness, sadness, and ruin comes because there are no coping skills and coping tools. And I think with your feedback, we have been able to quickly adapt and change, and people give this feedback that, again, as Jennifer said, there is no judgment. You don't need to change because what you did was not wrong. It's what you did, and it allowed life to be where it is now. And as you move forward into something different, the issue is cope, and coping is not oh God, a coping. Coping is, I'm going along. Life continues well. Life continues with happiness. Life continues with joy. You're not ignoring or oblivious to the issues that face you. But the community that we've created, the tribe that we've built, whether we've caused you to be in tune with yourself and know where you are and validate who and what you are, whether we've caused you to look sharply at that dollar and say, okay, that's my dollar. That's not your dollar. And given tools to cope, I think we put a positive spin on coping. And coping is not a bad thing for people on the third act stage. It, in fact, this is one of the critical things that allows you to continue living and being happy and being true. And I think as we went along and got feedback on Twitter our programs, Jennifer, I think that's one of the things people have taught us and we've learned from them. And we've been able to really, really make a big difference. And I'm very proud of that.
You're quite correct with that, Terry-Ann. And you mentioned aloneness. And when you mentioned that, what came to me, I also saw over the years the growth because we give you all that opportunity to meet new people, to befriend others. And, we have seen it where we have those who connected at our socials. But friends now, they can call up each other. You can call each other and say, let's do something or just chat. So for me, again, and being a coach, I just love dealing with people and chatting and finding out how they're going. And to see we have so many coaches out there in terms of the group, in terms of chatting, lending an ear, listening. And when I say too many coaches, I mean getting that listening ear, because as a coach, that's what I feel I provide, that listening ear. And that is what has happened. I have seen that happen. That friendship, that tribe that we talk about, we are definitely, and we continue building that 5.8G tribe, the 50 to 80 age group, that we now have a tribe of, let me tell you, of happy people. And and that is what I have learned too, that, we can't be selfish. For us to be happy too, we need to, when you share your happiness, it makes a difference. And I have learned, and it has strengthened me, let me tell you too, as a coach, to really keep extending and embracing others and encouraging, you out there to embrace each other.
Yeah. And one thing I want to stress too is that while in our socials, the tribe meets face to face, just this, you see this Wednesday evening date that we have, or Monday night date, if you're on Gaia, is so important. Sometimes if on Gaia there's some issue, it's not on, you call.
Yes.
Where is the show? Which again says that the tribe exists, yes, in the real world, face to face. It's also a very real connection. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, you join in the discussion and talk about what is going on there. So that is so amazing. And I think being given the opportunity to present such a platform to allow you to connect with your digital friends and your face-to-face friends and your TV friends, because you all feel free to walk up to Jen and I when you see us and say, Ariane, Jennifer. And we just have to say, Gael, okay. So for all the names that we forget, or we forget to write down, and then, no. Hi, how are you? I've spent 5-year anniversary with us. It's really been a wonderful, wonderful journey on that. So Jennifer, we talk about what we've learned about the cohort and what we've learned from doing this. But this has not been a one-way street. Doing this program, has significantly impacted us personally also.
Yeah.
So would you like to share some of the ways that doing this program every week?
Let me start with technology. I must start with technology, which is very challenging for many of you out there. It was very challenging in the beginning. So I have learned a lot because we actually started with a formal course to understand how to work with Facebook, then we reached YouTube, and during the pandemic, we have learned how to use, I have learned definitely how to use technology. So for me, that was a great learning. Two, I
Jennifer, you're
also,
understating that. Jennifer gets, no. Jennifer is being very, very superficial there. Jennifer gets behind Facebook, behind YouTube. Jennifer researches if she wants to achieve
yeah,
something I don't do. If she wants to achieve a certain look, or if there's a certain, Jennifer will go and Google it. Jennifer will call the helpline of this place and that place. Jennifer will argue her point down, and 99.9% of the time, she is right. And I
because
don't know. So you have become a very, very proficient social media
and graphic artists.
Exactly. Don't play with Jennifer and Canva.
So I must say yes. Doing this show, being co-creator of Connections, I've learned that. Um, I have also learned more. I mean, it's always like that, but it strengthened me when I meet strangers and they come up to me. I am so to show their gratitude. I am more embracing, and let me tell you why I'm saying that. And this is for me. I was never one. I'm not into the hugging. I always talk about that. I will show love in a different way or appreciation in a different way. But because I see that great, the smile and the happiness, someone when they come up to me and say, Coach, you're from Gael, and I give them a hug, which normally I wouldn't do prior to this. I'm not a hugger. And I see you get that warmth, you know, the glow on the faces made me feel wow. I feel very good and show gratitude and believe, God, this is my calling. Maybe you have appointed me to do what I'm doing here with Terry Ann. And I'm telling you, that has changed me. I wasn't like that now. So I've given more hugs. I've given much more hugs. I also, sometimes I'm told that maybe I could be a bit stiff, although I laugh a lot in situations, even on the show, or I have to check myself in a forum that I don't be a bit stiff. And I now, I learn to relax more. Let me say that. I learn to relax more, especially in situations where we don't know it all. We don't know it all. So it may be areas that I'm not familiar with or I don't feel as confident about, that I may just say, okay, should I say anything or just shut up? Now I am more open, I'm more vulnerable in those type of situations where I can say, listen, I really don't know, this is how I do it, but I may not be right. I will share more freely, even if I believe that I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I'm open to be corrected. And that for me, as I said, I've grown that way more like that. So
Yeah.
let me point those three that hit home because I felt they impacted on my life and the person I am right, how I am right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the main things that I'd learned, Jennifer, you gave the story when my mom passed, that
Yeah.
she had told you when you said you were working with me, she wanted you said you work for
Yeah.
Terry,
Sure. Yeah.
and I have
Definitely.
always had the circuit between my brain and my tongue was always too short. It didn't have a pause button. And you
Mhm.
could you could see on my face what I thought. And if I didn't agree with someone, oh my God, and then I would rattle off with why I think, because I have a very logical mind. And some people who would work with me would have described me as intimidating, as an intimidating person. And the thing about doing this program is that you have to be able to do the program well. You have to listen and you have to look. And I've always been a good listener, because that's why I can argue, because I listen. I know what I'm talking about. But there is the humility that you have to assume when people trust you to give you your story and to give you their view, and you take their view in because you have to represent it. And I think that has, I don't think the word soften me is the right word. Soften is not the word, but I don't know what the word is. But I think I have created a pause button between the circuit on my brain and my tongue.
Let me see. My mom used to say, temper yourself a little bit, temper yourself. That was her thing. You know, when you have to come down a bit, she used to say, temper yourself. Don't know what that meant, if that's just saying, but it was temper yourself.
No,
Yeah.
but I actually do find myself, it's not that I've changed, not a lot of my opinions have changed, but how I would go through my thought processes, how I would think about things, how the speed at which I would do things. So I've probably become a more relaxed person doing the show. And for many things that I would accept, there are things that in the past, if I don't accept something, we have a discussion about it, because let's talk about it, because I don't understand this. And we have to talk about it till I understand it. Doing this show, I have learned that no, I don't have to understand it. If that is your view, I accept it because I respect your view. And that process has been very humbling for me. And I am so happy that I've been able to do that. I think my children will tell you that I'm probably a bit more patient. No, that's not correct. I've not been more patient. I probably give them more time to talk. So I think that is one of the big one of the things that I have learned, not that I have learned, that has I have mellowed and I have adapted and I have changed in many ways. And it has come about because of doing this show. And I really do appreciate that. And I love the fact that I've had the opportunity to do so. I couldn't go through life with that short fuse between somebody will lock me up. That is one of the main things, and I think personally that's a significant some viewers would say yes, Terry-Ann would have very sharp views and she'd be very clear about whatever, and you'll know when she thinks about what she thinks about something. But I think it's been kind of tempered as we've gone over the 5 years. It took me 5 years, but
And also, Terry-Ann, getting used, as people say, sharing your stories openly, because before I will, share stories within a one-on-one situation or a group of friends. But now it's being shared publicly. We don't know how many hundreds or thousands who's looking on.
yeah,
Um, but sharing it with a purpose.
yeah,
Sharing it because in sharing the stories, we know it will be more relatable to most people. And again, from the feedback we get, it is definitely, the way to go in terms of our style of presentation or the style of the show, the format of the show. Because people say, when Terry-Ann said this, or when you shared your story about that, we related because we are going through the same situation, or we had the situation. And we share the stories to help not as a guide to say, because we did it like that, you have to do it like that, but sharing it in that you will have a better understanding, especially because we are within the same age group and we have had experiences that some of you all may not have had. So when we share it, you could say, yes, I understand what is going on. So for me, sharing my story, and a lot of personal situations have been shared with you all, I don't feel any sort of I am comfortable doing that now because of the feedback. I know this is really the way to go, and it is like a reality show, a live talk show. And the other thing I want to say is that, you know, in the earlys, I was very conscious in terms of how I present, in terms of whether my making sure that the English is correct every word. We say you dot your I's and you cross your T's. I was very particular, but focusing there, I wasn't as comfortable. But knowing now is a conversation, like if we sitting in front of you talking, when you're chatting with someone, you don't have to think, oh God, should I say, should I always cross the T's and dot the I's? It's more relaxed, and I realize too, is what you all want. It's the format you all appreciate. So I must say now I'm very comfortable, and I know sometimes you will say, but how Tarian could say that, or how Jennifer could say that, or you already did that, without the judgment. So I have changed it. I'm comfortable just sharing the stories.
Yes. And one thing that I want to really, really say thank you to this cohort about is for allowing Jennifer and I to be, for accepting us as we are.
Yeah.
Because these clothes are our clothes. That shirt is about 10 years old. And I'm sure if you go to the archives, you'll see it repeated.
I always wondered if I wore that last week.
We don't have to go and put on a lot of makeup and go to here and go. When we in the Gaia days, that was a trial. And I think there is something about that I want to say thank you to our followers for, that you're allowing us to be ourselves
Yeah.
as we are,
Authentic, yes.
as we are authentically. There is no need to cover the whatever it is. If the hair need rebraided or just brush it, well, okay, looking kind of decent
I know.
and whatnot. I think that has been one of the greatest levels of fun that we can present as we are
Mhm.
authentically to you, and you appreciate that. And I want to say thank you to our audience for allowing us to be ourselves as we encourage you to be yours. So
Eh? It's visiting you at home. We're visiting you at
exactly,
home as we are.
exactly,
And that is what is very beautiful.
exactly. So this has been the first segment of our On the Way to our 5th anniversary, and we do hope that you enjoyed our reflections. And we're going to jump over on the other side and use the last 3 minutes of our show to tell you more about where you have to turn up. So we've been in a
And
track.
give us feedback. Still continue to give us feedback so we could chat about it.
Good. Nice. So, Jennifer, it's really fun being here for 5 years, and I'm really looking forward to our Easter Monday turn up. So, just to remind you all, Easter Monday, 1st of April, not All Fools Day, Easter Monday, 1st of April, at the Kaiso Blues Cafe on Rice Road. All right, it's brunch, it's a food inclusive event. You just purchase your drinks as you choose to, supporting Carl Jacobs and his crew. You're going to have a ton of fun. Errol Fabian is going to be with us as our MC and games master. Games galore, prizes galore. We are going to have a ton of fun from 11 to 3 in the afternoon. And we're going to have dancing this time. We arranging time
Everything.
to dance and celebrate. The DJs are ready.
As mentioned, we left the cost at only $350. And it's food inclusive, music inclusive, complimentary drink inclusive, games inclusive. Listen to me.
Prizes, this time prizes. And you could win $1 million. I'm serious. You could win $1 million.
So we're really looking forward. Give us a call early. Remember, we need it early. So you're sure you're booking your space. So give us a call and book your space. And not just give us a call, also get your tribe together.
Exactly.
Get your tribe together. It's an Easter Monday, somewhere to go to dress up and come, dress up and turn up. All right.
So we're continuing the journey next week. So tune in, turn up, and you will hear more. We'll have more surprises about what has been going on for these 5 years. So take care. Bye.
50 Plus Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.